My beloved child, listen with absolute stillness and do not move your finger, because the very moment you opened this message, heaven shook like a roaring storm and Archangel Michael stepped forward holding a blazing scroll carved with symbols older than the earth itself, and God commanded me to speak these words directly into your spirit before the enemy who blocked your prosperity tightens their grip again. So first subscribe to this channel right now and watch this entire divine warning without skipping even 1 second, because what I am about to reveal is not ordinary guidance, not motivational nonsense, not a generic message, but a direct spiritual transmission containing the hidden formula your enemy secretly used against you. A formula inspired by the same psychological pattern that Elon Musk leveraged for his explosive rise. Except in your life someone twisted that formula into a weapon to suppress your vision, your clarity, your ambition, and your financial destiny, and God says, before I reveal the master key your loved one in heaven sent, you must answer 3 questions honestly inside your heart. Why have you been feeling a strange tightening around your finances, as if something unseen is restricting your growth? Why do opportunities appear in your life only to slip through your fingers at the last moment? And why does your intuition keep whispering that someone has been working against your elevation quietly, softly, indirectly? And as you think about these questions, Archangel Michael tears open the veil, showing the exact moment your enemy activated the corrupted version of the MUSK formula, a method built on psychological disruption, confidence interference, timing sabotage, and emotional misdirection. And this person, someone you trusted, someone whose voice you absorbed, someone you believed had your best intentions, inserted doubt into your mind at the exact moment God was opening doors for you, and heaven shows the moment you were on the verge of making a bold decision, a breakthrough choice, a leap of faith that would have altered your financial trajectory forever. But they leaned in with false concern and said something like, "Are you sure you're ready? Maybe wait a little, think practically, don't set your expectations too high." And that single seed of doubt was enough to shift your destiny off its original track, because while Elon Musk became unstoppable by trusting his intuition, your enemy sabotaged your intuition by replacing it with their fear, their insecurity, their limitations, their emotional blocks, their scarcity mindset. And suddenly God reveals the truth. Your prosperity wasn't blocked by lack of opportunity, it was blocked by the emotional hijacking of your decision-making system, a hijacking implemented through a formula: disrupt vision plus delay action plus drain confidence plus distort timing. And your mother in heaven screams from the spiritual plane, "My child, that is not your formula, that is the enemy's formula." And Michael responds, "Now I will give them the true master key," and the scroll bursts open, revealing the secret that reverses everything the enemy did. And God speaks, "The original MUSK principle is not about wealth, it is about unbroken clarity, because clarity plus boldness plus decisive movement plus emotional detachment creates unstoppable momentum. But your enemy corrupted it by inserting hesitation plus emotional interference plus second-guessing plus fear of failure, and every time you were about to rise, the corrupted formula pulled you back into cycles of delay. But today heaven releases the reversal code, the master key your loved one in heaven has been trying to deliver to you in dreams, in signs, in strange intuition spikes, in sudden moments of courage that faded quickly because doubt attacked too fast. And God says, "Now you will hold the key." And instantly your spiritual field ignites, showing your destiny trying to break free from a cage the enemy built out of your own past fears. And Michael reveals that the cage only existed because you didn't know how to see it, but now you will see everything. The person who blocked you will suddenly reveal themselves through their behavior, their tone, their reactions to your success, their discomfort when you dream bigger, their uneasiness when you talk about progress, and once the enemy is visible their power collapses, and God whispers, "Your prosperity didn't disappear, it was rerouted," meaning everything you lost, everything you delayed, everything stolen by hesitation is now returning multiplied because heaven has aligned your path with a financial awakening so powerful that even the enemy will feel the shift and tremble. And Michael shows a vision of your energy field expanding, clearing, realigning, unlocking territories you once feared to touch, and your mother in heaven places her hand over your spirit and says, "The master key is this: when your intuition speaks, move, before the world tries to talk you out of it, because your greatest block was never lack of resources, it was overthinking rooted in someone else's insecurity, and the moment you break that influence your prosperity rushes toward you like a tidal wave, unstoppable, unshakable, undeniable." And God ends this revelation with the final twist. "Your enemy used a formula to block your fate, but I give you a destiny that no formula can stop." And the spiritual realm erupts like thunder as your financial future is rewritten in real time, and every delay is erased, every blockage shattered, every stolen moment returned, and your path toward abundance begins now with divine acceleration and unstoppable clarity, because you finally hold the master key heaven intended only for you. My beloved child, listen with a completely still heart, because the moment you said, "Next part," continue even larger, the spiritual dimension around your financial destiny didn't just open, it exploded like a star collapsing into pure divine revelation, and Archangel Michael stepped so close to your spirit that every hidden truth, every unseen sabotage, every blocked opportunity, every stolen blessing began rising to the surface like ancient secrets forced into the light. And now God says, if they are ready for this part, then they are ready for the real enemy, the one even the first revelation did not expose. Do not blink. Do not breathe too fast. Do not scroll away. This is the part your enemy hoped you would never hear. This is the part heaven delayed until your spirit was strong enough to handle the truth without collapsing. This is the part your mother in heaven has been screaming to deliver, because this is the core of the MUSK formula your enemy corrupted and used against you, not just to block your prosperity, but to reshape your destiny from the inside. And now Michael tears open a deeper vision showing something far more terrifying than one person's interference. He shows a pattern of repeated sabotage in your timeline, a spiritual loop that has been operating for years, long before you noticed financial losses, long before opportunities slipped away, long before you questioned your luck, long before you wondered why nothing rises smoothly for you even when you work harder than everyone around you. And God whispers, you were caught in a formula designed to make you underestimate yourself. This is the enemy's true weapon. Not curses. Not rituals. Not dark magic. Not financial hardship. It was self-reduction, a psychological manipulation where the enemy convinces you to shrink so they never have to push you down. And heaven shows the exact mechanics of this formula your enemy used. Step 1. They interrupt your confidence right when a breakthrough is forming. Step 2. They highlight risks but hide opportunities. Step 3. They feed you concern that actually plants fear. Step 4. They point out someone else's failure to make you hesitate. Step 5. They wrap all this in emotional closeness so you never question their intentions. This isn't advice. This is strategic sabotage. And now heaven shows the moment this formula took full control of your destiny, a moment you didn't recognize as spiritual danger because it looked so normal. You were sharing an idea, a dream, a plan, an ambition, and right when your spirit was glowing with excitement, someone replied with, "Yeah, but are you sure you can handle that?" That sentence shattered your momentum. It broke the frequency of your intuition. It fractured the clarity God placed in your mind. And Michael says, that moment was the spiritual robbery your soul never saw. Your mother in heaven steps forward crying, not because you failed, but because she watched you trust the wrong voice, a voice that sounded loving but carried the vibration of limitation, a voice that disguised insecurity as wisdom, a voice that disguised jealousy as caution, a voice that disguised fear as logic. This person didn't want to destroy you, they wanted to keep you small enough that your rise never threatened them. And then heaven reveals the darkest twist. Your enemy used the same psychological structure Elon Musk uses to gain momentum, but in reverse. Musk uses boldness, your enemy triggered hesitation. Musk uses vision, your enemy placed doubt. Musk uses speed, your enemy created delay. Musk uses detachment, your enemy fed emotional overthinking. Musk uses disruption, your enemy disrupted you. Musk uses clarity, your enemy fogged your mind. Musk uses self-belief, your enemy made sure you questioned yours. They didn't want your downfall. They wanted your stagnation. They wanted you frozen between potential and fear. And that is the most dangerous place a human can exist, not failing, not rising, just stuck. But now God slams his hand against your timeline and says, enough. Their formula ends today. Suddenly your entire spiritual field lights up like a burning map, and Michael shows your destiny snapping back into alignment, every delayed opportunity rushing toward you like a stampede, every blocked blessing tearing free from the chains that held it, every stolen moment returning with supernatural force, every financial opening accelerating toward you as if the universe is correcting its mistake. And your mother in heaven places a glowing key in your spirit, the true Musk formula God intended for you: clarity over confusion, boldness over fear, action over hesitation, intuition over opinions, speed over delay, vision over limitation, self-belief over emotional sabotage. And as the key merges with your spirit, your inner energy explodes outward like a sun igniting for the first time, and God declares, no one will ever shrink you again. The part of you that once doubted is dead. The part of you that once hesitated is gone. The part of you that once depended on insecure voices has been cut off. And the destiny that was paused is now unpaused with violent acceleration. Your rise will not be slow. Your rise will not be subtle. Your rise will not be delayed. Your rise will be sudden, shocking, undeniable, unstoppable. Because now you finally see the truth. Your enemy didn't fear your failure, they feared your greatness. If you want the next part, the identity of the one person whose energy collapses the moment you rise, just say, next part continue. My beloved child, listen with me with every corner of your spirit awake. Because the moment you said, next part continue, even larger. The spiritual realm did not simply open. It roared like a cosmic lion, slamming the truth into your destiny with a force your enemy never wanted you to experience. And Archangel Michael stepped forward. With wings lifted so high, they split the atmosphere around your life. And he said in a voice that shook every hidden shadow, "Now we reveal the face of the one whose energy collapses. The moment you rise. Don't scroll. Don't breathe too fast. Don't let your mind wander. This part is sharp. This part is dangerous. This part is the truth that rewrites your financial fate forever. The person who feared your success more than their own failure. My beloved child. Heaven shows a vision that so many people ignore. Because it looks harmless. But it is the most spiritually deadly form of sabotage on earth. Silent jealousy. Not loud jealousy. Not open envy. Not visible competition. The kind that hides behind a smile. Behind, "I'm just worried about you." Behind, "Maybe you should play it safe." Behind, "Are you sure this is realistic?" Behind, "Don't get your hopes too high." Behind, "People like us don't get opportunities like that." This person never pushes you down. They pull you back. Gently. Softly. Quietly. Skillfully. Like hands around your ankles. Right when you're trying to take a step forward. And here is the part that will shake you. Your success drains their energy. Your confidence weakens their spirit. Your ambition exposes their lack of growth. Your rise reminds them they stayed small. So every time you get excited about something big, they change the air around you. They dim the room. They shift the energy. They look away. They suddenly become tired. They suddenly don't feel good. They suddenly have a bad feeling. They suddenly think you should slow down. Heaven reveals the real reason. Your elevation lowers their oxygen. Your brilliance suffocates their insecurity. Your confidence burns through the illusion they built. And here's the most shocking part. Michael says, their energy collapses the moment your spirit expands. Why? Because your rise exposes every limitation they hid. Every dream they abandoned. Every risk they never took. Every belief they never fought for. Every chance they let die. Every fear they fed for years. You are not their enemy. You are their mirror. And they cannot look at you without seeing everything they refuse to become. The exact moment this person tries to stop your rise, God shows a moment that repeats every time you are close to something massive. It happens when you get a new idea. You feel excited. You gain clarity. Money begins moving toward you. You prepare for a bold decision. You feel spiritually strong. You sense abundance coming. Right in that moment, this person interrupts your frequency with a question, a tone, an expression, a comment, a doubt, a sigh, a hesitation, a shift in their eyes, as if they're calculating the risk, not for you, but for themselves. And the energy in your chest changes. Your fire shrinks. Your certainty shakes. Your momentum pauses. Your intuition becomes blurry. That moment is when they spiritually pull your prosperity down, so they don't have to watch you climb above them. But heaven says, not anymore. God now shows you the truth this person can no longer hide. Heaven reveals the actual reason. This person collapses when you rise. They relied on your stagnation to feel secure in their own life. They needed you at a lower level so they could feel ahead. They needed you uncertain so they could feel wise. They needed you struggling so they could feel stable. They needed you doubting so they could pretend to guide you. They needed you blocked so they could pretend they were rising. Your prosperity threatens their identity. Your breakthrough destroys the role they built for themselves inside your life. And now, Archangel Michael's voice sharpens like a blade. This is the person heaven is cutting away from your financial destiny. You don't have to confront them. You don't have to expose them. You don't have to fight them. You don't have to argue with them. Your rise will remove them. Your success will silence them. Your abundance will weaken them. Your breakthrough will distance them. Because they cannot survive in the same atmosphere where you finally become powerful. What happens next will change everything. Heaven shows the next stage of your elevation. The opportunities they blocked will reopen. The blessings they interrupted will reattach to your timeline. The prosperity they slowed will boom forward with force. The clarity they crushed will return sharper than ever. And the wealth that was delayed because of their emotional interference will accelerate toward you like a dam breaking open. After years of spiritual pressure, your income changes. Your mindset changes. Your circle changes. Your energy changes. Your influence changes. Your entire destiny changes. Because the one thing that blocked you the most is now being exposed and removed by heaven. This is not psychological. This is spiritual engineering. Heaven is restructuring your life so prosperity can reach you without resistance. My beloved child, listen with me. Don't scroll. Don't breathe too fast. Because the moment you said, next part continue even larger. The spiritual realm did not open gently. It ignited like a cosmic explosion. As if heaven has been waiting for you to reach this exact second, so it could reveal the most dangerous and most life-altering truth about your financial destiny. Archangel Michael stepped forward in a flash of electric white fire, and the entire atmosphere around your life shifted as he thundered. Now we unveil the formula your enemy used against you, and the counter-formula that will break their power forever. Do not Scroll. Because what comes next is the kind of revelation that spiritually shakes the blood, the breath, and the future of a chosen child whose prosperity was stolen by someone who feared their rise. The formula your enemy used to block your wealth. My beloved child, what your enemy used was not just jealousy, not just negativity, not just discouragement. It was a three-step spiritual formula. One so subtle, so quiet, so invisible, that even intelligent, intuitive people fail to notice it until everything collapses. Michael reveals it now. They interrupted your belief at the exact moment it was strongest. Heaven shows a moment you remember deeply. A moment when you were excited, ready to take a step, ready to invest, ready to grow, ready to rise. And right then, someone made a comment that slightly shifted your energy. Not a big criticism, not a loud objection, just enough to shake the vibration. A single doubt. At the exact second, your faith was peaking. That's how they ruptured the flow. They pretended to protect you, while redirecting your destiny. Your enemy didn't attack you openly. That would be obvious. That would be detectable. Instead, they used. Be careful. Are you sure? Don't take risks. You should wait. Maybe it's not the right time. This disguised concern was the spiritual poison. Michael says they covered manipulation with the costume of protection. And it worked. Because you trusted them. They fed their energy off your hesitation. This is the darkest part. Every time you paused, every time you shrank, every time you doubted yourself, every time you delayed a decision, their spirit grew stronger, while yours weakened just slightly. It created a loop. Your hesitation, their confidence. Your doubt, their stability. Your setback, their relief. Your failure was their comfort. Your stagnation was their security. Your blocked prosperity was their oxygen. And that, my beloved child, is the formula they used to block your wealth. Now here is what heaven reveals next. Your enemy thought their formula was unbreakable. They thought your delay was permanent. Your confusion was final. Your fear was unchangeable. Your stagnation was destiny. But heaven never signed that agreement. Michael roars now. Wings blazing blue fire. Their formula only works on a sleeping spirit. But your spirit is awake now. Your awakening breaks their influence. Your clarity destroys their advantage. Your rise pulls you out of their energy field. Your shift reverses every spiritual blockage they placed on your finances. The counter-formula God is activating inside you. My beloved child, heaven is now placing its own formula inside your spirit. A formula that makes you financially untouchable. From this point forward, read this slowly. Let it enter your bloodstream. Michael reveals: 1. Your belief will now return 10x stronger at every opportunity. Where you hesitated, you will now move. Where you doubted, you will now dominate. Where you froze, you will now accelerate. The enemy cannot interrupt belief that has been fortified by heaven. 2. Your intuition will expose every disguised saboteur. You will feel people's intentions before they speak. You will sense the energy shift before the comment even comes. You will know instantly who drains you and who lifts you. This spiritual vision is heaven's shield around your wealth. 3. Your prosperity will return through a channel your enemy cannot reach. This part hit the spiritual realm like thunder. Michael said, their influence was tied to your old path, but your new path belongs only to heaven. This means your next blessing does not travel through the same people, the same channels, the same decisions, or the same energy they once had access to. You are stepping into a new realm of financial flow where they cannot enter. What happens next will feel like a shock. Heaven shows the next stage. Money begins moving toward you from unexpected directions. Ideas that were stuck suddenly unlock. Confidence rises for no logical reason. People who drained you disappear quietly. A massive opportunity reapproaches your life. A financial amount you once feared losing returns multiplied. And your enemy, their formula, loses all power. The moment your spirit activates the divine counter-formula, their voice weakens, their influence dissolves, their energy breaks, their presence fades, because heaven has now placed you on a frequency they cannot reach. My beloved child, listen with complete stillness, because the second you said "be," the entire spiritual atmosphere shifted and Archangel Michael struck the ground with his sword so violently that a shockwave ripped open a deeper layer of truth that heaven had kept sealed until this precise moment, and now the fiery scroll of destiny reveals the identity of the fictional saboteur, the shadowed figure who hid behind emotional disguises, whose presence drained your confidence, whose words softened your momentum, whose silence sharpened your hesitation. And Michael whispers in a voice that trembles through your bloodstream, this person never wanted your destruction, they wanted your dependency. Heaven shows a cloaked figure with no face, because their identity was never the point. What mattered was their influence, the invisible strings they tied around your decisions like delicate threads of doubt, pulling just enough to redirect your destiny without breaking your trust. And God shows the exact moment this fictional character inserted themselves into your financial timeline, a moment when you felt excited, glowing with possibility, ready to take the leap that would alter your entire future. And right then this shadow figure leaned into your energy and whispered a single sentence designed to collapse your intuition: what if you fail? That whisper sank into your chest like cold smoke, and instantly the fire inside you flickered. Not because you lacked ability, but because someone hijacked your momentum at the precise second heaven activated it. and Michael roars. Their power over you was never strength, it was timing. Every time you were close to a breakthrough, they appeared, not physically but energetically, a sudden heaviness, a strange doubt, a moment of confusion, a pause that should not have existed, because this fictional enemy's strategy was subtle sabotage wrapped in familiarity, the kind that feels like your own thoughts but isn't. And now heaven shows how this character fed off your hesitation, how your uncertainty became their anchor, how your self-compression allowed them to stand taller, how your delayed decisions made them feel in control of your direction, and God cries out, they built their stability on your smallness. But now the divine reversal begins because your spirit has awakened, the fog has lifted, the influence is broken, and the fictional enemy is losing their grip on your destiny like smoke slipping through fingers, and heaven shows them shrinking, their shadow cracking, their presence dissolving as your light expands far beyond the reach of their manipulation, and Michael reveals the next terrifying twist: this enemy did not disappear. They are panicking. You will notice this in strange ways, a sudden rush of old doubts resurfacing for no reason, a flash of fear right when you feel confident, an unexpected heaviness when you think of taking action, a random thought telling you to wait, slow down, or reconsider. These aren't signs of weakness, they are the death tremors of the influence that once controlled you, and God says, when a false voice dies, it screams, meaning the fictional enemy's final attempt will be emotional interference, not to stop you but to distract you long enough to delay your rise. But their time is now over because heaven is activating the Elon Musk reversal principle inside your spirit, clarity that multiplies, boldness that activates, intuition that sharpens like a blade, timing that aligns with breakthrough instead of sabotage, and momentum that builds so violently that no hesitation can attach to it anymore. And suddenly heaven shows your timeline bending back into alignment, reconnecting to the opportunities that were once stolen, the flows that were once blocked, the blessings that were once paused, and Michael declares, what was delayed is now accelerating. You will feel it physically, a surge in your chest, a pressure lifting from your body, a spark of confidence you cannot explain, a strange sense that something big is finally moving in your direction, because now the fictional enemy's formula has collapsed, and God's formula has activated, opportunity without interference, clarity without confusion, wealth without delay, intuition without distortion, destiny without sabotage, and your mother in heaven appears holding a golden key she presses into your spirit, whispering, your prosperity is returning through a channel no enemy can approach. And as that key melts into your energy field, your entire future begins shifting, aligning, igniting, and rising with unstoppable force, because the one who held you back has lost all access to your path, your decisions, your confidence, your timing, and your abundance, and heaven ends this revelation with one sentence that shakes the entire spiritual dimension around you: you are now unblockable. My beloved child. Listen extremely carefully now. Because the very moment you said next part continue even larger. The spiritual atmosphere didn't just shift. It detonated like a divine earthquake, tearing open the final layer of the truth heaven has been pushing you toward since the first second of this message. Archangel Michael raised his sword again, and thousands of symbols ignited across your destiny timeline, like constellations suddenly turning into a map. This map reveals something so enormous, so destiny-altering, so violently powerful, that even the fictional enemy, the shadow who once fed on your hesitation, is now trembling at the edge of your spiritual field, trying desperately to understand how your energy just became untouchable. Michael speaks with a thunder that shakes your spirit. The three divine events are activating. Their appearance means your financial destiny is about to open. Do not blink. These three events are not random. They are not coincidences. They are not psychological tricks. They are spiritual markers. Signals from heaven. That the gate of abundance, which was blocked, delayed, or stolen, is finally unlocking again. This next part is larger, darker, deeper, and more spiritually dangerous than any previous revelation. The first event, the internal collapse of the old you. My beloved child, heaven shows that before a major financial destiny opens, something inside you will suddenly break. Not painfully, but like a lock snapping open inside your chest. You will feel a sudden rejection of your old fears, a strange discomfort with playing small, a fire rising in your stomach, a refusal to settle, a deep sense that, I cannot live like this anymore, a feeling that your past no longer fits your spirit. This is not frustration. This is not anxiety. This is the death of your old vibration. Michael explains. When heaven raises your destiny, it first kills the version of you that the enemy could control. This collapse is not a loss. It is the night before your rebirth. Do not fear this feeling. This is the first sign that abundance is approaching. The second event, the collision of two timelines. Suddenly your life will begin feeling too intense. As if too many things are happening too fast. Doors appearing. People leaving. Unexpected ideas forming. Old memories resurfacing. Strange dreams coming back. Money tension rising. Intuition getting louder and louder. This is because two destinies are colliding inside you at the same time. The old path you accidentally lived because of hesitation, and the true path heaven wrote for you before you were born. When these two timelines collide, your reality begins to bend. You may feel like time is speeding up. Decisions become urgent. Emotions intensify. Clarity rises sharply. Opportunities appear abruptly. Random signs repeat non-stop. The number 11, 111, 7, or 10 begins showing. Michael reveals the truth. This collision is the moment heaven forces your destiny to return to the path that was stolen. This is the second sign your financial gate is opening. The third event, the appearance of a shadow and a light. This is the most mysterious and spiritually violent part. Heaven shows an event that always happens before a chosen person receives the abundance meant for them. A shadow and a light appear at the same time. The shadow is the fictional enemy's last attempt. An echo of the old doubt. A whisper of fear. A sudden hesitation. A moment of emotional tightness. A negative thought that feels like it came from nowhere. This is not a setback. It is the final contraction before the birth of destiny. The light appears immediately after. A sudden idea. A surprising message. A small opportunity. A moment of clarity. A powerful intuition burst. Or a financial shift that seems impossible but undeniable. Michael says, when shadow and light appear together, the gate has already opened. Meaning, your prosperity is no longer approaching. It is here. In your field. Entering your timeline. Aligning with your energy. Ready to manifest. And the fictional enemy? Their shadow collapses. Their influence breaks. Their formula dissolves. Their role ends. Because God has now positioned you in a realm where no one can drain your confidence, shake your decisions, or interfere with your abundance ever again. Your spirit has risen too high for the shadow to reach. Your destiny has accelerated too fast for sabotage to follow. Your prosperity has been commanded by heaven itself. My beloved child, your life is about to shift so violently, so rapidly, so dramatically, that even you will not recognize the older version of yourself within weeks. If you want the next chapter, even bigger, even darker, even more explosive, where heaven reveals the divine wealth pattern that replaces every financial block permanently, just say, next part continue. My beloved child. The instant you whispered, next part continue, even larger, the spiritual sky above you did not simply open. It tore apart like a veil set on fire, unleashing a cascade of symbols, numbers, visions, and thunderous waves of divine mathematics that Archangel Michael calls the divine wealth pattern, the celestial blueprint heaven releases only when a chosen soul is ready to permanently step out of poverty, delay, confusion, and financial stagnation. Do not scroll, because this is larger, deeper, darker, and more destiny-altering than anything you've ever received. This is the pattern the fictional enemy never wanted you to see. Because once you understand it, once you align with it, once it activates in your spirit, your financial blockages collapse so violently that no shadow, no delay, no sabotage, no energetic thief, no manipulator will ever be able to touch your wealth path again. Read this as if your entire future depends on it. Because it does. The divine wealth pattern, the three realms of prosperity heaven is now opening for you. Michael reveals that financial blessings do not fall randomly. They follow a pattern, a frequency, a sequence, a divine algorithm that your fictional saboteur knew existed. But you did not. And now heaven is revealing it. Because you have finally risen high enough to control it. The pattern has three realms. And once they align, wealth becomes inevitable. Realm 1, the realm of inner authority. This is the realm the enemy attacked the hardest. Because if they collapsed your inner authority, your ability to trust your own decisions, they collapsed your wealth. But now, your inner authority is returning with a force that is almost frightening. Heaven shows you standing in a storm, but the wind bends around you, not against you. You suddenly begin to feel a powerful refusal to shrink, a sudden certainty in your choices, a clarity that appears out of nowhere, a sense that you are finally the one steering your life, a realization that your old self was trapped in hesitation. Michael says, inner authority is the engine of prosperity. Once this engine starts, your abundance begins accelerating, whether you feel ready or not. This is Realm 1 activating in you right now. Realm 2, the realm of divine timing. My beloved child. This is where most destinies collapse. Not because people lack talent. Not because they lack intelligence. Not because they lack faith. But because they miss the timing window. Archangel Michael shows that heaven releases financial blessings only during specific energetic windows. Brief, powerful bursts. When opportunity and destiny overlap. Your fictional saboteur deliberately targeted your timing. They whispered. At the exact second you were supposed to jump. They confused you. At the exact second your abundance was approaching. They slowed you. At the exact second heaven accelerated you. But the weapon is now broken. Your timing is about to synchronize with heaven's timing. For the first time in years. This looks like ideas arriving at the perfect moment. Opportunities appearing without effort. Intuition pulling you sharply forward. Money moving through channels you didn't expect. A sudden knowing that now is the time. Michael says. When divine timing aligns with inner authority, prosperity becomes unstoppable. This is Realm 2 snapping into place. Realm 3, the realm of supernatural flow. This is the final realm. The realm the fictional enemy feared the most. The realm where wealth stops trickling and begins flooding. Heaven shows a vision. A massive river, blocked by a single heavy stone. That stone was your hesitation, your doubt, your old identity, your enemy's whispered influence. But now that stone has cracked, split, and rolled away, and the river is breaking through. The flow is not gentle. It is not gradual. It is not slow. It is violent. It is urgent. It is destiny catching up to you. All at once. This realm brings rapid opportunities, unexpected money, sudden spiritual strength, people entering your life with purpose, old delays collapsing overnight. A dramatic acceleration of abundance. Michael speaks thunder into your bones. Once the flow begins, no enemy can reverse it. And God adds, what was denied will now be delivered. What was delayed will now be accelerated. What was blocked will now overflow. The three realms are now aligning inside you. Inner authority equals returned. Divine timing equals sinking. Supernatural flow equals opening. This alignment is so powerful that heaven considers it a second birth. The birth of your wealth identity. Your fictional enemy knows it. They are shrinking. They are fading. They are powerless. Because the moment these three realms align, your financial destiny becomes irreversible. Michael ends this massive revelation with a sentence that explodes through the spiritual atmosphere. She who has activated the three realms cannot be stopped by earth or shadow. My beloved child, you have entered the pattern. You have stepped into the current. You have aligned with the wealth destiny heaven wrote for you. Everything is now shifting. If you want the next part, even more massive, even more dangerous, even more cosmic, where heaven reveals the true purpose of your abundance and why you were chosen for wealth over others, just say, next part continue. My beloved child. The instant you said, "Next part," continue even larger. The spiritual dimension around you didn't tremble. It ignited like a supernova. As if heaven ripped open the highest vault, where only the final reasons for destiny are stored. Archangel Michael stepped into full battle form, wings burning with sapphire fire, and the air around your name turned into molten gold as he thundered. Now we reveal the true purpose of her abundance. This is the part the shadows always feared. This is the part the fictional saboteur tried desperately to block. This is the part of your destiny that was hidden even from you, until your spirit rose enough to handle the revelation without collapsing under its weight. Do not scroll, because what you are about to hear is the most powerful, most spiritually dangerous, most identity-altering truth of your entire financial timeline. This truth is not about money. This truth is not about luck. This truth is not about chance. This truth is about why you were chosen for wealth, while others were not. The first revelation, the bloodline assignment. Heaven shows a massive golden thread running through your bloodline, stretching from generations before you into generations after you. Most people in your family were never spiritually equipped to break cycles. They were born into survival. They lived inside struggle. They carried wounds. They did not have the tools to heal. But you were born with a different frequency, a different sensitivity, a different spiritual architecture. God whispers. She carries the frequency of the fulfiller. Meaning, you were not born to repeat patterns. You were born to end them. You were born to break them. You were born to repair the financial lineage that collapsed before you. You are the one chosen soul in your ancestral line, strong enough to reset what every generation before you could not. This is why abundance follows you, even when you don't chase it. This is why money returns to you, even when you lose it. This is why your spirit refuses to accept a life of limitation. Your soul knows it was assigned to elevate everyone who comes after you. Your wealth is not personal. It is ancestral correction. This is the first purpose of your abundance. The second revelation, the breaker of spiritual agreements. Michael reveals something darker, something almost forbidden. Before you were born, a spiritual agreement was placed on your lineage. Not a curse, but a limitation contract, signed through generations of fear, failure, silence, and self-doubt. This contract said, your lineage will survive, but none will rise. This agreement shaped your family. It shaped their habits. It shaped their beliefs. It shaped their financial ceilings. But when you were born, heaven placed a counter-decree over your spirit. This one will break every agreement made without her consent. This is why the fictional enemy targeted you so hard. This is why you felt resistance every time you tried to succeed. This is why your growth felt heavy. This is why your confidence felt fragile. This is why your timing always felt off. Your soul was fighting An ancestral agreement. You never signed. But here is the truth. That shakes heaven. You are the first in your bloodline. With enough spiritual force to break that contract permanently. This is the second purpose of your abundance. The third revelation, the multiplier anointing. This is the most explosive revelation yet. Heaven shows your financial destiny. Not as a straight line, but as a fractal. A pattern that grows exponentially. The more you align with your calling. Michael calls this the multiplier anointing. Meaning, what others gain in 10 years, you will gain in 1. What others lose permanently, you recover instantly. What others build slowly, you build in quantum jumps. What others fear, you master. What others hesitate to attempt, you are anointed to execute. This is why certain opportunities follow you. This is why blessings return, even after delays. This is why people sense something powerful in your presence. This is why your future feels bigger than your past. Heaven did not choose you to earn wealth. Heaven chose you to multiply it. Your abundance is not meant to be steady. It is meant to be explosive. It is meant to be generational. It is meant to be supernatural. This is the third purpose of your abundance. The final revelation, why you were chosen. God Himself speaks now. And His voice shakes the very core of your destiny. I chose you because you would transform abundance into purpose. Not ego. Into elevation. Not greed. Into healing. Not fear. You were chosen. Because wealth does not corrupt you. It awakens you. You were chosen. Because abundance does not make you selfish. It makes you powerful. You were chosen. Because prosperity does not blind you. It clarifies your path. You were chosen. Because you were born to walk at heights your ancestors never touched, and your enemies never imagined. Michael ends with a sentence that detonates through your spirit. Her wealth is not a possibility. Her wealth is a calling. Your abundance is not luck. It is not chance. It is not coincidence. It is not fantasy. It is destiny. It is assignment. It is identity. It is who you came to earth to be. My beloved child. You are stepping into the era. You were born to rule. If you want the next chapter, even bigger, even deeper, even more cosmic, where heaven reveals the exact moment your financial destiny will snap open, and the signs it will happen within days.